Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Stating the obvious, this is Defub21, and lo and behold, what do we have in front of us? Well, what we've got in front of us is System Shock, and not just any System Shock. This is a pre-alpha demo of what Night Dive Studios hopes to be, or the developer Night Dive hopes will be a full-blown remake of the original System Shock, which I think was released in the early to mid 90s. I never really played this game. I've watched, read reviews of it. I may have watched a friend or two play it, but I really kind of missed out on this game. I mean, I own an original copy of System Shock 2, the sequel, which came out a few years later and is at a visual level a vastly more sophisticated game than the original System Shock, because advances in 3D graphics in the 90s was very, very rapid. And System Shock 2, as far as I'm concerned, is an absolute classic. Those who played through the original System Shock consider it to be a classic as well, and Night Dive have now released this pre-alpha demo of what they hope will be a remake of the original System Shock, which they are starting at the moment. I believe the Kickstarter target is 900,000 US, and they're already up to over 600,000 with 27 days to go. Although, to be honest with you, even if you're using the Unity engine and any cost savings that results in, to be perfectly honest with you, how you could do a first-person game of the kind of scale and complexity of the original System Shock on a 900,000 budget, I don't know. Admittedly, to be clear, because the game is so old, I mean, this is, the original System Shock from a graphics standpoint looks positively ancient compared to System Shock 2, which came out, I think, was it 2000, 2001, something like that. So there have been, it's an older, those older kind of early to mid 90s 3D graphics games and all, like true 3D graphics games, aged, with the exception of things like Doom and so on, aged, and 3D Wolfenstein aged very, very badly because the technology was just so primitive, even by the standards of the late 90s, let alone now. So this game wouldn't have to be the most visually, this project would not have to be the most visually kind of innovative or pushing the boundaries in any real way to be, even if it was a relatively basic remake in terms of middle tier budget, as it were, in terms of or even low budget, very low budget, obviously at 900 grand, very low budget by modern first person shooter or / RPG game standards, would still potentially, using the Unity engine, allow for the creation of a game that would be visually vastly superior to the original. Whether it's just going to be a straight up remake or they're going to change some stuff, I don't know, like gameplay, design and so on. But without further ado, we'll have a look, and then I'll let you know what I think. Well, I'll let you know what I think as we go through it. So without further ado, let's press the spacebar. Well, there's the old bed retracting. So that's this is how you start certainly in System Shock 2, is you wake up after being in suspended animation for some time, and you wake up, things have gone terribly awry. Okay, can't open that. Okay, first, what's this stuff? Okay, what happens here? Oh, I seem to have been plugging it into my head. Oh, and it gives me extra stuff for my HUD. That's cool. The biometer, that's health in other words. Okay, let's try the next one, which is Navigation and Mapping Unit version 1. It's going in somewhere else. Into me noggin, unless I'm wearing a helmet. Okay. This appears to be a weapon. A sturdy pipe. They say lead pipe. You wouldn't use lead piping in anything now, let alone in the future, because, you know, lead poisoning and all the rest. Heavy metals are bad. Very bad. Oh.
Confirm. Hello? Hello? Finally got someone. Alright, my name is Rebecca Lansing. I'm a counter-terrorism consult for Triumph. First things first, get something to defend yourself with. You're gonna need it. Things on Citadel Station are bad. Very bad. The comms are dead and there is strong evidence of a biological contamination on board. And that's not the worst part. The station's mining laser is charging for potential strike against Earth. Nathan Darcy is the science officer on board. He'll have information on shutting the laser down. His office is on your level near the central hub. Get there immediately. See what you can find.
Okay. Find an office. Got myself a key card. Nothing in there. Again, visually, it's obviously a massive step, you know, truly colossal step over the second System Shock game, let alone the original. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a particularly... Again, 900 grand seems a bit low of a number to me, but let's see. I don't think you mean me well. You don't mean me well. Die, robot. A serve bot, whatever that is. Batteries. I have no idea what those batteries will be of any use to me, but what the hell? Okay. These look like medical bays of some description. And that appears to be bits of a person. There's blood all over that thing as well. Looks like gibberish. Good to hear. Don't seem to be able to interact with that fellow at all. Ooh. Crumpled paper. Die, robot. Right. That doesn't sound too good. Oh, look, and there's the helpful code. Put in there another corpse. Let's go this way first. What's in here? Take all. Okay, I've already been in there. Another crate. Ooh, grenades. Not quite sure what that did, but well, it's maxed out my power. If you see in the top left hand side of the screen, there's a health meter and a power meter. Okay. Again, visually, you know, I like the aesthetic to it. It looks kind of like the original game did in terms of how the maps were designed. Obviously, a much more modern engine. Well, vastly more advanced engine and much higher quality, you know, art assets and all the rest. Okay, without further ado, 451 it is. Let's see, how does this key thing work? Okay. Oh, that worked. You have to 4, 5, 1. Yeah. Well, he's dead. Humanoid mutant. Not quite the...
Welcome back to Citadel Station. We hope your somnolent healing state went well. You are currently in the healing suites located on the first level. All levels can be accessed in Alpha Quadrant. We hope you have a pleasant stay on Citadel Station.
Well, again, the audio quality is more than up to the job. And that female voice sounds an awful lot like the showdown that I remember from the second game. Circuit is incomplete. Okay, so I have to, I assume, fix that. And this door is obviously access denied, so it's locked. Frame rate's a bit all over the place, but that doesn't completely surprise me. Okay, that's how you can open the menu. How do you use these? Okay, that did the trick. I think I'll leave the rest for the moment. Another dead robot. You'd think it'd be harder to kill with a pipe. Okay, what am I looking for? Oh. Key card, excellent. Is there anything else in here I need? Well, I need some sort of circuit thingy to fix the broken thingy in the other room, but can't seem to find it. It's a good smoke effect there, or is it steam effect, whatever. But okay. Need a circuit. Okay. What have I got in here? No, I don't think I'll be taking those limbs. I don't know if they were in use in the original game. Screw it, take it all. What do you do with all that scrounged up paper, I wonder? Probably nothing. Head. Another fragmentation grenade. More blood. Let's check back in here again. No, I don't appear to have picked up anything like a circuit of any kind. You wonder what's inside. obviously that thing lets me into maintenance access. I've already been in here. That got me the Where, oh where, oh where? Oh where? Do I find that circuit board? Oh, wait a minute. I don't have to find anything, I just have to fix the damn thing. Okay. That certainly did something. Don't know what the ammo count for this is, though. Where those spidery things are. I don't think you have my best intentions at heart. Or my best interests at heart, yes. Repair bot, you say? It is rather dark. I don't believe there's a flashlight. Or maybe it consumes electricity. Oh jeez, that burned a lot through. Okay, it's much less thirsty on the power. Ugh. Finally. Die, you bastard. Well, I'm low on ammo, to put it mildly. At least it's brighter out here. We appear to be orbiting Saturn. I thought in the original game it orbited Earth. Okay, that looks like that's it. So, what do I think? It does seem to visually quite faithfully... It does seem to quite faithfully follow the kind of... the level design, and to a degree even the art design of the original game, but just does it using modern graphics and technology. Voice acting and what it is in the game is quite good. Sound effects are quite good. Again, this is a pre-alpha demo. Basically, there, as you can see, to help support the Kickstarter for it. Again, I'm not quite sure, because I didn't play through it myself, how big the original System Shock was. I mean, how many hours you'd have to put into it to complete it. But I mean, I don't know, maybe, you know, things have come advanced quite a bit. Maybe, you know, Unity allows for a very small development team to do an awful lot in a very short space of time. But 900 grand, if it's a relatively, which I think the original System Shock was a comparatively large scale game. 900 grand seems to me to be a bit on the optimistic side, to put it mildly, to build a game, you know, that's a faithful remake of the original, of the same scale of the original, but with even this level of kind of graphics. Seems a bit of a push at 900 grand to me. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. All power to them. I'd certainly, if they remade it, I'd certainly, you know, wait for the reviews, obviously, but if the reviews are good, I'd certainly buy it and play it. And I'd love to see a remake of System Shock 2, which is, I would imagine, what would happen if this game, if this Kickstarter is successful and this game is, when it comes out, is successful, that they would also try and do the same for System Shock 2, assuming they have the rights or can get their hands on the rights. But, yeah. It's a cool, nice little demo. Hopefully they'll continue to work on it and add stuff to it. Patch stuff, make it a bit better performing, because there is a bit, it's certainly not a solid 60 frames per second on my system. That's probably down to a combination of inefficiencies, bugs in the code, and who knows what else. But it's a step in the right direction, and I think you know, some people have said online, this is the way to do a Kickstarter right. Have it, you know, show us actual gameplay footage at the very least, or even a playable demo to give us an idea, to show us what you're actually capable of in terms of, you know, art design skill, level design skill, and so on, and show us that you can actually deliver on what you're promising. And that's always a good way to start a Kickstarter. I think a lot of the Kickstarters that are successful have already had a certain chunk of work done in them. So it's not simply a case of, you know, oh, here's some, you know, early design art and that's it, or concept art and so on. Show us the game, if admittedly in an early form, running, and, you know, that, you know, to prove to us that it's a real thing, and, you know, that'll pique our interest. I mean, one of the first Kickstarter games I ever bought was FTL, which had already been in development for probably, I think, was it a year or two by the time they kickstarted it, and they were only looking for 250 grand, which is, you know, compared to some of them that are rolling into the millions upon millions of dollars, is a drop in the ocean. And when that game came out, it was great fun, and I enjoyed playing that profusely. Anyway, this is Defub21. Let me know what you think about this whole System Shock remake in the comments. If you like this video, please like it, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. This is rather cool. Anyway, this is Defub21 signing off. Toodaloo.